G'day, Bruce.
Charlesy, good to see you.
Great to be here, mate. I'm in this incredible office in North Sydney. I'm Andrew Charles, the Chief Revenue Officer for Compnow for our enterprise, government and commercial business. And I'm here today again with Bruce Bennie, the Country Manager for Juniper Networks. We're going to talk about a lot of interesting topics today, Bruce. Very, very excited to be here.
Terrific. Look, before I start, I do want to sort of say thank you to you and the team. I mean, it's been a great relationship and partnership we've had. 20 plus customers, millions of dollars worth of new business, so appreciate that. Look forward to more of it.
Look, there's more there. The funnel's growing, and
I hope so.
Being one of your fastest growing partners in Australia, if not the fastest growing partner, there's a reason for that. We took on Juniper because we think it's one of the most amazing technologies in market today. Yeah. Bruce, the first question I've got for you is that we're hearing more about platformization of AI.
Yep.
How is Juniper helping customers consolidate security, network, and operational functions under a unified AI-driven platform?
Okay. I guess, it's a good time we've had this conversation because, Juniper does annually look at reflecting on our customers and the market generally, just to see where the trends are and see whether we're mapping into those trends. The one thing we're finding out is our customers more and more are looking to consolidate and simplify all of, not just their vendors, but also all of their management platforms and tools. And there are thousands of them out there, as you know. All right, so this is really becoming a major focus for us, and a lot of our customers are looking to have one platform to do multiple things and manage multiple domains within their network. Mist has been started and created from the ground up to do that, all right? We've started this process around 10 years ago. We are continuing to expand and expose that to other parts of our network. We started with our access points, as you know, our switching portfolio, our SD-WAN portfolio, our security portfolio, and more recently our edge routing portfolio. All of these are now managed under the one platform. All right, so it's one pane of glass, right, for all the things you want to do across your network. Okay, so this is where we're seeing the market going, and we're certainly leading that charge.
And look, just on that topic, what role does Mist play in delivering the single pane of glass for customers across network security and IT operations?
Okay, well, no surprise that the platform is the Mist platform.
we love it. Okay. Good old Bob Friday, he got stuck in and created a masterpiece.
Exactly, so I think that again is being expanded in terms of functionality and in terms of scope. Yeah. All right, so we're seeing, as I said, our security portfolio is now managed by Mist. All right, that is going to be a double down. We're going to move forward with in the back end of this year, so we'll see a lot more of that coming out of it. Yep. We're also seeing, in the marketplace, network and security is becoming merged. Yeah. Juniper's always said this is where the market's going to go. We have assets in both areas, so we're very strong in networking, very strong in security, and obviously with AI, we're a very, very powerful player in that space as well.
Awesome.
So we'll see more of that. Even security teams in large organisations are becoming one with the networking teams as well.
And Bruce, look, that's great. It's just kind of half answering my next question. How are customers responding to this idea of a unified AI platform?
Well, I think AI is actually going to be the glue between both those areas. Right. I think network and security and see AI as being beneficial to both their parts of the business. Why have two platforms when I can have one to do both? All right,
so it makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense from a cost perspective, a training perspective, and from an AI ops perspective. You've also got to work with third parties such as ServiceNow and other parts where you can interface back into those platforms as well.
Absolutely.
All right, so Mist is really well positioned for that, and we're getting a lot of customers actually using it as a baseline for those integrations.
And that merging of security and networking teams, operationally, how is that impacting the bottom line for customers in the marketplace today?
Well, I think, we said it before, and I think many of the customers that you have got are seeing it, right?
Absolutely.
They can see that.
We don't have any complaints, put that way. We have very, very happy Juniper customers. Yeah.
So I think what we're seeing is, things like, a faster deployment time, fewer trouble tickets that are being raised. I think there's a 90% drop in trouble tickets, better customer experience, which is very, very important these days to people. I mean, being on is not just being on, it's actually being able to identify and isolate issues. We get it all the time. So those things, I think, are driving that conversation as well, all right? And I talk about third parties and ecosystems. Having an open API system as well that's cloud delivered means you've got a lot more flexibility and openness, which a lot of companies don't offer in their platforms.
Yeah, Bruce, so that leads me to an interesting question. Mm-hmm. Is the traditional separation of security operations and network operations still practical in today's threat landscape?
What we're seeing, I think, at the moment is that there's still definitely separations in certain organisations depending on the size of the organisation. The smaller the company, that is becoming collapsed because of cost issues. Yeah. I think what we're seeing is a lot more, at least, communication and sharing of information between the network operations team and security operations teams as well.
Right.
Okay, so from that perspective, I think that'll continue, right? As tools are actually going to merge into one, you're going to see that being a far more prevalent option people are going to take up.
And then it becomes a political landscape.
Well, I don't want to deal with that part of it, but
No,
I
we
think
better stay away.
You better stay away from that.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah.
organisations will see the benefit of doing that.
Yeah.
All right, shared information is critical, particularly for security. Networks have to be secure these days.
Yeah.
All right, so we've always said that. That's going to permeate across the entire network, I'm sure.
And what I'm seeing certainly in Victoria, where governments don't have as big a budgets to spend as they did, in my opinion, there's never been a better time to look at Juniper's AI landscape because of the operational savings that it can present at scale.
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that the data you've got, particularly with AI, you're going to do a lot more correlation between security issues and network issues because they are related. Right, you've got to track these things across the network. So how do I do that?
Absolutely.
I don't need network monitoring tools to do those sorts of things, right? Which is what Mist can do for you.
Yep. Now let's chunk up the conversation. I want to talk about support and operations and how AI is reshaping how IT teams identify, troubleshoot, and resolve network issues.
Yep.
Now, obviously, you guys developed this incredible little assistant called Marvis.
Yes.
I love talking about Marvis. Juniper's virtual assistant.
Yep.
How is that being utilised in field to effectively reduce tickets, improve user experience, and drive operational costs down?
Yeah, I think the whole the Marvis, the AI digital twin we've got there. What we're seeing is a lot of organisations are using that capability. We talk about AI ops in terms of day two operations, which is really where the cost comes out of it. Yeah. How do I drive tickets down? How do I have a self-healing capability within the network? So a lot of that is actually done proactively with the AI mini that we've got. So certainly a lot of organisations are taking the existing IT resources they've got doing those fundamental things for AI. For Wi-Fi, and then using that to apply to other parts of their business. So in the past, we had 4 or 5 people looking at it. You probably now need 1. All right. So the overall cost in terms of managing that network is going to drop. The resources needed are going to drop as well. All right. And the result is a better customer experience for everybody.
Yeah. And what's remarkable is when you actually see Marvis for the first time and you start engaging with Marvis with natural language services, it really is shaping the future of where networking is heading.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's talk about the future, Bruce.
Okay.
If we take a step back, how do the 3 trends that we discussed today reflect Juniper's vision of an experience-first networking solution for clients?
Yeah, I think Juniper, since day one, has always been about customer experience, all right? And that's really where we're focusing. And self-driving networks has always been a mantra we've had. AI is really the facilitator for those sort of capabilities, all right? So Mist is certainly a continuation of that journey. Yeah. And we've been working with that now for over 10 years with Mist, all right? So that knowledge, that capability is now being transferred to the solutions you see as a customer.
Oh, awesome. And what is Juniper's message then to Australian government enterprise customers trying to modernise their network in a highly secure and fast and effective manner?
Look, it's a complicated world, the AI world, because it's moving so rapidly, and there are so many. Everyone now has AI, right? I think that's the challenge in terms of the noise that's out there about AI. What I typically tell our customers is, test us, try us. I think everyone's got an AI strategy, but are struggling about where they fit that into their network, how they fit into their security portfolio. So, getting us engaged, we can show you what it can do. I think I said just a minute ago to somebody that. Our most sceptical prospects become our best advocates when they become our customer because they see what it does, they deploy it. We've got over 150 customers now in Australia and New Zealand, all of which basically are using Mist and have seen the value and the benefit. All right, so the application is really, and how you actually use it will show you the benefits.
I guess lastly, Bruce, what excites you about Juniper's vision and where it's heading over the next 12 to 24 months?
Look, I think Juniper has been a leader in AI networking since day one. We were talking about AI a long time before the market, so we're certainly, I think, way ahead of where the market is today. A lot of people are playing catch up, which is great. Nice to be copied. Yep. But we're not standing still. No. There's a lot of activity in the marketplace around AI, but we are certainly continuing our development and doubling down on that development, right? So you'll see some new announcements coming out probably in another couple of months around some new products and new initiatives. Juniper is not standing still in this area.
Awesome. Well, Bruce, look, it's been an absolute pleasure. For any information in relation to what you've seen today, please reach out to sales@compnow.com.au or speak to your local BDM. We love this partnership, Bruce. It's an honour to be here in Sydney today at your incredible head office. We've got a gin tasting we're going to do now. So, mate, I wish you all the best and
Thank you very much.
Look forward to doing it again soon.
Good. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Bye.